Oh.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon here in Malaysia, and very good morning to Netherlands. Okay, welcome to Cikgu Get Certified 5th webinar series. Okay, for today we will discuss about Microsoft tools that support remote learning and hybrid education. So I am Cikgu Fadzli. Will be your moderator for today, and we have here Afke and Dimitri and Lars from the Netherlands. Okay, before we start our webinar, here we have a training checklist. Okay, for all the participants, you need to ready with your laptop or computer. Stable internet connection. We are using Microsoft Teams for today, and other applications including Forms, LessonUp, Thinglink, Flipgrid, Padlet, and many more. Okay, soft reminder for this webinar. Okay, please write your question or comments in the live chat. So I will try my best to answer from time to time. And Q&A session will be open in the final 10 minutes of this webinar session. So link to quiz will be given and answered by participants at the end of this webinar session. So for MIT staff here in Malaysia, your attendance will be manually recorded by our secretariat into the SPL KPM system.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Fadzli.
Yeah.
Can you mute the YouTube live because your voice is we are hearing double voice. Okay, please proceed.
Okay. So without further ado, I will introduce you our presenters for today. Okay, hi everyone. Hi Afke. Hi Lars.
Hey.
And hi Dimitri.
Hi Fadzli.
Hi. So thanks for accepting our invite to be the presenter for our webinar, all the way from Netherlands. So for the first presenter is Afke. I met her in Paris during the Microsoft Education Exchange last year, and she brings us two top educators in Netherlands, which is Lars and Dimitri. Okay, so I will pass to Afke for brief introduction about yourself.
Thank you. Is it okay with the echo now? Do you understand me? Is it better now? Okay, I still hear the echo. Thank you for having me here. Can you share my screen? Thank you. So, my name is Afke and I'm working for the Microsoft office in the Netherlands. And one of our main goals is to empowering the students of today to create the world of tomorrow. And maybe you know the pen of the Surface pen. This is a real important thing to achieve that. So the children can create a lot with this. But not only with the Surface pen, of course, but also with the technology. We empower them to create it. So here you see me with my Malaysian family. And first of all, I want to say terima kasih, and not only from my side, but also from the side of Lars and Dimitri, We are really pleased to be here, and it's really good. You see here us on stage in Paris. I met all the Malaysian teachers, and that's why Fadzli asked me to help in this webinar. So I'm also a Malaysian in the Malaysian family, you can see. And hopefully the others are also in this call, I don't know, but please say hello to me in the chat. The past 9 years, I was a teacher. Hey! The past 9 years, I was a teacher in primary school. So I teach from the 3rd till the 5th grade. No, from the 1st till the 5th grade. And my last 3 years, I did the 5th grade. And during my lessons, I did a lot of Skype in the classroom and a lot of Microsoft tools. And that's the reason I'm now working for the Microsoft office in the Netherlands as a customer success manager. During this presentation, I will explain my journey from a teacher to customer success manager. And at the end, Lars and Dimitri will tell their experience about remote learning. So, I think 4 years ago, I went to Indonesia to teach the children there. And when I got back, I thought, okay, I need to get also more world citizens from my students. So not only the Netherlands for them, but also looking across the borders, not only in your own classroom with the walls around it. So how could technology help with that? And that was the first step. I use a lot of technology in my lessons. I use a lot of Skype in the classroom. And Skype in the classroom, you see it here. It's a tool from Microsoft, and you can connect with classes all around the world. But you can connect with classes, but also with other people. So this is one of my friends. She was traveling through Asia, and she was in Vietnam. And she was seeing a lot of garbage and plastic in the ocean. So in the Netherlands, we thought, okay, we must help the world to create a better place for all of us. And not only in the Netherlands, but also cross borders. So we were looking to the global goals from the United Nations. You see them here. They're like 17 goals, and we want to achieve them in 2030. It's equality between women and men and good education, but also less plastic pollution. So with my class, we went through the canals from Amsterdam and we did plastic fishing. Of course, we also celebrated World Earth Day with a wish for the world. So that's what I did with the children. So it was not only technology, it was also going outside and show them the world. And because of this innovative way of teaching, I became a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. Maybe you've heard before already, but we call it the MIE. And then after I became an MIE expert, I got a lot of opportunities. We are here in the Microsoft office. This was my first MIE meeting with all the Dutch MIEs. And I also got the chance to explain other teachers to Skype in the classroom. So with all this experience, I applied for the role as Customer Success Manager in the Netherlands. So what do I do now? I help teachers and boards to get most out of the technology. I help them to change their vision, and I also want that they experience that technology give less workload. And it's also a good opportunity to have personalized learning. So we did a Girls' Day with the office, but it was already during the COVID-19 crisis. So the children couldn't come to the office. So it was over Microsoft Teams, a live event. This is an event for the MIE experts, and these are all my colleagues from Europe, Middle East, and Africa from the Microsoft teams, all the education people. And I'm also working with the education transformation framework. So if a school says, okay, we really want to buy 40 devices, you see it's in here. We have 4 pillars: leadership and policy, modern teaching and learning, intelligent environments, and technology blueprints. If you want to change or you want to do innovation in your school, first of all, you need to have a vision for that change. So if you buy only devices, but you don't do a training for your teachers and for your children, and it's not in your vision what you want to reach with that, it's not a long-term change. So if you are you want to innovate in your school, it's very important you do it in a holistic way. So you always touch all the pillars or 3 of them for a sustainable change. So what is my job for REST? We have the Showcase School programs. We have the Global Training Partner programs. I do a lot of change management with schools. So not only the technology part of a change, but also the people side of change. I lead the MIE community in the Netherlands. And 2 of our very enthusiastic MIEs are Lars and Dimitri. And they will tell you about their experiences in remote learning.
Yeah, that's right. I think
yes,
we will
switch
from the presentation from Afke to ours. We will first start with a short introduction, so you all people know who we are. And after that, we will show you some tools we are using remote learning. It's good to start with some description of the situation in the Netherlands. The schools are closed from, I think, the 16th of March. And all lessons went at our school, also at Dimitri school, via Microsoft Teams. A difficult period, I think, for some teachers. For some, the difference was a little less bigger because they do use a lot of digital methods for the students. When I think when I talk about experience, I do miss the contact with the students. You can hear them by Microsoft Teams, but most of the time they are muted because a lot of students do have their mic on. They are talking through each other. But the physical contact between students inside your lesson, and the talk with the colleagues, I think that's the most things I'm missing at the moment. Dimitri, what about you?
Yeah, well, I think it's what Lars says is a difficult time, but it also brings a lot of opportunities to introduce all the tools that we got to provide remote learning. So let's start.
Maybe Lars, you can tell a bit about the website.
Yeah, well, because of the remote learning now, and a lot of people are asking us, like, how can we do this? How can we do that? Lars and I started a website. It's called www.onderwijsopafstand.nl, but you don't know what it means. So I will ask Fadzli to copy the link or to share the link with you guys. But it also got a lot of tips how to use tools for remote learning, and it got a lot of Office 365 tools in it. So, well, let's start.
In English, it will be learning.nl.
I'll start the PowerPoint. I hope you can see it.
Yeah.
So, Lars, you will kick off with your introduction, who you are.
I will. I'm a teacher, geography and technology at the secondary education. Besides that, inside my school, I'll do a lot with technological innovation, innovation with the school. You'll see my Twitter handle right at the moment, so if you want to follow, you're able to follow. Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, and also me Master Trainer. And a Flipgrid Grid Guide. And later this webinar, I will show something about Flipgrid. For the people who don't know, I'm going to tell about it, what it is too. So maybe that's short about me. And Dimitri, what about you?
Yes, I'm Dimitri van Dillen. Well, also from the Netherlands. I'm teacher, I'm a trainer, ambassador, education technology, and also a ME expert since last year. Well, that was really short, but it's okay. Let's go on. Well, we started off with our presentation about telling how we manage our lessons, because every lesson's got like 4 stages to use tools. And our lesson starts with how to activate knowledge, to acquire knowledge, process and practice the knowledge, and reflect and evaluate. And so we put on this presentation like these 4 stages and show you, well, a few tools, not a lot, but a few tools, how you can help them to get your lessons right. And we're starting off with the activate knowledge, and we made a Microsoft Forms, but I hope it works. I don't know if you can read the QR code and fill in the form, so I can show you how it works. And I got to share my forms formula. One moment. Can I now share my forms?
Okay, I'm able to scan the QR code.
Yeah, I'll share my Chrome. Oh, once I got it here. Share. So probably now I've shared mine. So you gotta get into a form like this.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, do you provide remote learning for your students? We were just curious, and we're just showing this because you can use it in your lessons. And this is a real form, so we made it on forehand, but you also can do, because I heard you going to use Microsoft Teams, and you are going to do polls in there. Maybe you can show it later on, Lars. Lars? No.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, maybe I said maybe we can use the poll function in Teams. We can show them.
The poll function in Teams. Yeah, maybe that's a good one. And there is a possibility to use a kind of forms bot inside Teams. When you call Teams, you are able to ask a simple question. It's like when you're going inside the channel, you'll see at the bottom different kind of symbols, and one of them is the bot. And when you click on it, you are able to send a question to the users of your channel. I think that's a good description of it.
Yeah, well, I'll now share another Microsoft Forms. I'll show you the answers you are filling in. We can see there are, you've got it here. I'm sharing now my screen with the answers. Can you share that with me, Fadzli? Yes, with the people. So to show you our question that we just gave to you, we got like 128, 29, 130 answers. So at this time you can see live like how many people are reacting and what the answers are. So we see like 20 people are not providing the remote learning for the student, but 120 are. And if I look here, promoter score, like some people like it, some people don't like it. It's like in the middle. So at this time you can see, well, how is everybody scoring? So also your students, if you want to activate the knowledge, like you're asking a question, you can see live, like what's everybody answering. And now we got a lot of people in the stream, so a lot of answers. But normally you got like a class of, I don't know, in Malaysia, how many students do you got, Fadzli? Or normally in a classroom?
Normally we have around 30 until 40 in a classroom.
13 or 30?
30.
Okay. So, well, then it's going to be a lot quicker. So now we got like 177 answers, and they're still going up. This is just to let you see how you can use it. You can use different sort of questions that you can ask the students. You can also give them like open questions they really got to answer. Is this clear for the people? I hope.
Maybe it's also good to pronounce that you can use it and form maybe the one you have now. You can integrate it directly into Teams.
Yes.
By using another tab or link the forms to the Teams channel, and maybe go a little bit back to the forms bot. When you are using the add sign, add forms, then you're able to call the forms bot, and you can also use the symbol in the down. Click on the 3 dots, you'll see forms, and you're able to add a form or using the bot.
Maybe I can show it in my Microsoft Teams, Fadzli. Can I share my Teams with you?
Okay, sure.
I'll just do it. Okay, one moment, please. So we got this one. I'll get my education exchange team. What unfortunately didn't happen this year.
maybe next time.
Maybe next year.
It's only postponed.
Yeah, it's postponed. So like this is Microsoft Teams, and this is an example of Microsoft Teams that Lars and I got. Is like the education exchange for us. When you got a team, I don't know if everybody's working with Microsoft Teams, but like the forms I just showed you, you can also integrate like really quick to add forms. So that's what Lars just was telling. And when I said, you want a question? Well, what's your question? Sorry, forms.
Yeah, that's a good one. You can remove the text and fill in the question.
Yes, so you can do like add forms, and then you can do the same poll like I just did with the QR code. You can do directly in Teams, and you can also use it as a tablet. What's tablet?
Tab.
A tab, like a tab above the Teams. Okay, that was really short. I'll get my PowerPoint back. It's a lot of. Sorry. So that was to activate knowledge, how to use Microsoft Forms. And the next phase you go through with the lesson is to acquire knowledge. So how are you gonna put it? Well, PowerPoint, I hope you all know how PowerPoint works. And but we also use a lot of LessonUp and Thinglink. We used second-party apps also to show you how you can integrate them in Microsoft Teams. Microsoft is just connecting more and more applications you can also use to fill up your lessons. So we use LessonUp and Thinglink. Which one are we going to start with, Lars?
Maybe let's start with LessonUp, and maybe a good, also good to pronounce is that all the apps we are using are compatible with Office 365 credentials. So if you want to use one of these apps, you can use your Office 365, Microsoft 365 credentials.
Yes, and LessonUp is it's a really great program. LessonUp is like PowerPoint, but you also can use directly different questions to activate people or to get them right straight to the lessons. LessonUp is, I think it's a Dutch program, but you can also sign in because they got like the translation to English. Well, I'll show you. So we show you, just show, you talk, Lars, and I'll show.
Great, let's do that.
For LessonUp in. Okay, so
Takes a bit of a second to switch. That's also technology.
Yeah. Well, so you can see LessonUp, it starts all the time in Dutch, like in Nederlands, as we say it, as we pronounce it. But you can also choose for English, and you can log on to this. Well, you can see, because my account is Dutch, that everything is in Dutch. So you were probably like, what some words you can see. What do you want to tell, Lars?
Maybe it's good to start a new lesson, but before, how students do use it. When you do have a new lesson, you can share a 4-digit code to your students, and they can use on different devices that code. They go to LessonUp, they fill in the 4 digits, and they can take part live at your lesson. Maybe it's good to open a new lesson and show them some kind of different questions you are able to ask your students, because that's one of the strong parts of LessonUp. It's very friendly to use, and when you want to ask some questions to your students, you can use a variety of sorts of questions. Dimitri shows them now. You can ask them a multiple choice question, something about word clouds, maybe an open question you just want to know something about. You can add a picture and ask a question with that. Maybe you can show them one of the questions, Dimitri.
Yeah, I will do that. One thing, PowerPoint, you see the button PowerPoint, you can just fully integrate PowerPoint in it. So if you got a PowerPoint, you just put it in LessonUp, and you can add questions between the slides. So that's really cool, I think. Okay. Yeah. So you can make a quiz question, and you can make it by yourself. Or you can just look it up in LessonUp. Like for English lessons, they got some questions already in it. So if you put on the search button,
database behind.
Yeah, they got a really big database. It's really a lot of Dutch questions at this moment, but probably when more people in the world are going to use it, the database is going to grow, and also with the English questions. But you now can just, like, I'll just use one and say, I want to use this in my lesson, and it just puts it in here. And when the students answers the question, the answers directly show up, so they also can see like how they did it.
And maybe also good to tell, it's a good way to use some differentiation inside your lessons, because when you have your students, even in this time from remote learning, you've got some stronger students for your subject and some students which need some extra help. And with LessonUp, you are able to set open some of the dias for the stronger students. I call them stronger now, the more experienced ones. But you can also set some dias, especially for the students which need some more help. So inside the same lesson, you've got some substantive depth for the experienced ones, but also some extra experiences for the ones that need as well.
Yeah, true. It's really a great help. I use it a lot in my lessons, and when we use LessonUp, you can see like the students are using their phones and doing it right in Teams. So we got LessonUp integrated in Teams, and they will do the questions, or we do it with a live event or a remote learning lesson. Okay, what should I show more, Lars?
I'll see a question from one of the viewers. Is LessonUp better for 365 or Google? That doesn't matter at all. It's just a login. So it's a different program behind, but the credentials from your 365 or Google can be used to get into it, to get a better connection. So if you're using Microsoft 365, it's easier to log in with that because you're using it for another program as well, maybe.
Yes, I'll go back to the, but you can so make your own lessons or questions, but you can also like search for complete lessons. So if you want to have like, I want to learn the ABC in English, probably there's a lesson already standing there that you can use directly into your lessons.
And maybe good to tell, you were telling it a little bit, the content in English isn't that big as the one in Dutch at the moment, but when there are more people which are using the English content and making some English content, that will grow as well. So you can choose to publish your own lessons inside that database as well.
Yes. Okay, do you want to tell more about LessonUp?
So the platform is free or paid?
Yeah, it's sorry, Lars, you tell.
You've got some different accounts at the backside. By Dimitri, you'll see the tab My School. Maybe he can show it with his mouse at the top. And some of the schools in the Netherlands do have some school accounts, which are providing some more options. LessonUp is free to use and free to use in bigger sentence, so you can find a lot of it. But when you do have a school account from it, you'll see the community in your school as well. So maybe you are working with a coworker with the same subject, then you can add your presentations all together. But it's good, it's very usable for yourself as well, because then you do still have that database. So definitely it's free.
Yeah, and I think because they got premium options, because of the remote learning and all the COVID-19 thing going on, they are saying now for 3 months, I believe, you can use the premium for free, and after that it's just the normal version. Fadzli, you got more questions?
So there's one more question. There's one question from Gordon Lambert. Is there any English version of the online learning?
The English version of the online learning. Well, the LessonUp is in English. There is an English version, but you now see the Dutch version because my account is Dutch. But you can use the English version, and everything is English.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll stop streaming that one. And now I think we're going over to Thinglink.
Okay.
Thinglink. Sorry?
What is it? I think I said let's grab Thinglink and maybe tell something about what it is when you're starting Thinglink up.
I was busy sharing my screen. Well, we got Thinglink. I will tell you about Thinglink. Thinglink, you can see, I'll share my screen. I got a free, you see, yes, that's Thinglink. I got the free version. Thinglink is because at my school, we thought, well, I'm giving lessons in a shop, in a real shop. But now, because of the corona, we cannot go to the shops because they're all closed and we cannot work there. But the students got to learn. They got to get their certificate at the end of the year. But how can you take them to shops? And then Thinglink came by. And Thinglink, you can also log on with your Office 365 account. But Thinglink, you can use 360 pictures. I don't know if Malaysia is doing a lot with 360 media, but we are a little bit doing it with our school. So like, for example, I'll get here, it's like the shop. This is our shop. Excuse me. This is our shop for the students. And it's a real shop, and the students normally really work here for a few hours in the week to learn how to go on with customers, or how to wrap a gift, or that sort of kind of stuff. But we also got lessons about routing through the shop. So how do you walk through the shop, and why do you see things? So I made a 360 picture of the shop. It's like this. I hope you won't get noxious. But you can also put in the 360 videos, you can put in media. So if you press on the I, like here, it explains, well, you got to stop at the front of the shop because, and we explained it. And when you press the 1, I put in a video. So you can put in everything you want. You can embed everything you want right in there. So that's really cool. And I think it's also got the immersive reader. So that's also really cool for the people who don't got good sites. They also can use the immersive reader. And this is just one picture, one 360 picture. But with Thinglink, you can also use like, I'll press Explore. And they got a lot of lessons, free lessons. They also got right in there. So like if you want to do something about the body of cats, you can just, people are using like, you see here it says cats, but if you get a body and you can, body, oh. Body, I searched it before. And you see here an interactive image. And somebody put here all his effort in, so you can see hair is also to keep you warm. So what's the reason for your skin? Probably this sweat is to help to cool you down. So you can make your own interactive videos or photos. But what's really cool with Thinglink is, like, I just showed you the shop. I will now show you when I share my Microsoft Teams. So I'll stop this one. I'll share my screen. I'll go to my work. So this is my Teams. I'll go back to my real classroom team, and we got like the shop. And what you can see is like we got the shop routing above here. And when you press it, like the Thinglink I just showed you. Uh-oh, hope it works. I hope it works. It just worked. Do you see anything?
Not yet.
Loading.
Oh, it's so great. Well, normally the Thinglink picture would be right in here. So the students don't have to go to the Thinglink website or to, when I just told you the LessonUp website, they can just go to Teams and you can just add like the tabs. So if you want a Thinglink, you can see it here, you can add a Thinglink. And if you want to add something else, the LessonUp or what you want, there are so many apps, you can just add them, or you can embed a URL in it. So I think that's enough for Thinglink. Lars?
I think you showed a great way to use it inside your lesson, and you also used it during your vacation, your holidays in the North Cape.
Yes,
To show
true.
them something about the landscape over there, did you?
Yeah. We went to the port of the North Pole, and my students wanted to know from, well, what is it and how are the shops there? So we also brought the 360 camera to there, and we just filmed it. And they also can in Thinglink you can also embed complete movies, so you get the 360 around, and people can just watch it. And we provided our students with a little VR glasses so they can use it at YouTube or Thinglink or whatever they want. And now I'm giving the stick to Lars.
Yeah, maybe you can still open the presentation for me as well.
That's a good idea. Share screen. There it is.
Here it is. Dimitri just told something about receiving any knowledge of TEL about something by using Thinglink or LessonUp or PowerPoint, or there are a lot of different tools. We are just using, just pronouncing one of the tools we are using a lot. And I'm telling a bit about two technology options to reflect on the process and the practice. Excuse me. And one of them is Padlet. And I don't know if you know Padlet or not. You can see the QR code. Please scan it with your phone. And Padlet is a kind of sticky notes page. So you'll show it inside your lesson on the screen, and maybe when you open it, you'll see. I'll share my screen with you.
Sorry.
One moment, please. I think it's sharing now, does it? Can you see the Padlet right now?
Yeah, sorry, we see it.
Okay, great. You'll see some of them are still working out on it. You'll do have different kind of types of questions or thoughts you're able to use. It's for free, and see it as kind of a sticky note page. And by double click, you can add some new ones, and you'll see the question in top. That's the right way to use it, I think, because you'll give some good. Then you can see the question inside your screen. Padlet is for free, but you're able to use 3 different Padlets at the moment. When you want to use some more and keep them, then you need to upgrade. But what also a good way is, and the way I'll use Padlet, is to remove the Padlets I don't use anymore. So I'm using the free Padlet with my Microsoft 365 account, and for me it's only using it to know the knowledge, and the next lesson I can grab back to the knowledge they don't know by example. So then I'll ask what is something you still want to learn about, or what interests you the most. So you can start with Padlet during all types, all phases of the lessons. At the beginning, to look back; at the end, to look forward or to look back, or even during during your some exercises. So there's a lot of different possibilities. You'll see a lot coming in. I'll see a lot of teams over here. But that's just one example. And maybe I'm able to show some other types as well. Then I'll need to share my screen once again. There it is. And you'll see, I'll just have this Padlet open at the moment because I do use the free one, and when I'm not using it anymore, you can click on the 3 dots, you can delete it, and then you'll still have your free space. When you want to do one, you'll see the different kind of possibilities. It's like a wall, a canvas, a timeline, maybe something on a map. You want to know something about a country, then you can use a map and add some context to the points on the map. So that's also a possibility you're able to use. So that a bit about Padlet. Did I forget something, Dimitri?
No, I think you got it.
I think you got it. That's great. That's great. Then maybe you can show them short the presentation for the Flipgrid QR.
Yes. Share screen. Oh, I already did. Sorry. Okay.
Another way to watch back the progress, the process, or to use it in different kind of phases of your lesson is Flipgrid. I know there is a password. That's also a good feature of it. The password is exchange with capital E. And mostly I'll choose to use a password because in ways of this, when the Flipgrid is open, everyone can get in. And by using password, there is still some restriction on it. So not everyone can access it when you need it. And for the people who don't know what Flipgrid is, Flipgrid is a feature which empowers student voices. That's what they are saying. And it gives you the possibility to make short videos till 10 minutes to talk about anything you want. I'll share the screen to show how it looks like.
Yeah, maybe it's good to tell like the Flipgrid, everybody's using it because it's like everybody's making selfies or videos. So Flipgrid is really easy to use for students.
Yeah, a lot of students in the Netherlands, they do use Instagram. They go live. They show a lot of them what they are doing, and the connection with Flipgrid in that way isn't that. It's not very difficult to make the switch. A bit weird fact is that when you're starting about Flipgrid and they do need to make a video for education, it's like, no, I can't do that and all that kind of stuff. And when they are at home, they'll grab their mobile phone, they go to Instagram and they go live. So that's a bit weird, but yeah. A good way, Flipgrid is also a good way for the uncertain students because it gives them an opportunity to tell something in just by yourself. Maybe you know that student which won't say anything during the lessons because she's very uncertain or he is very uncertain, and they won't tell that much in a big group because they can't at that moment. Now, Flipgrid is also a good way to show as well. And what we do at the moment and you're able to do that as well, is to tell and make a short video about what your favorite tool is to engage remote learning with your students. And please explain why you are using this tool. That in a couple of minutes. Before, I will tell a bit about the different tabs you'll see here in top, because Flipgrid also has a big database behind. When you don't know what kind of question you want to use, or you are new in Flipgrid or all that kind of stuff, you can check the Disco library. And when you'll see the Disco library, you'll see all different kinds of subjects you're able to use. You can choose between more than 20,000 different topics. And when you want to know something about, call something the weather, maybe there is, you'll see there are around 4,400 topics you are able to use. And then you can copy this one to your own grid. So also a big database for using. Grid polls is the community part of Flipgrid. And for the people which set the profile into active, I think Mr. Fadzli and Padlet did this as well.
Yeah, I have in Malaysia.
Let's show Malaysia. Takes a while to load. It's great. You see two in the South Pole and Pole as well. It's loading a bit more, so I'll go further.
And last, with grid pals, you mean you can be a pal with somebody on the other side of the country, and you can do like exchange assignments, eh?
Yeah, you do. I'll just click one, and then you'll see the contact opportunity. Lots of them do have Twitters, lots of them do have LinkedIn, and then it's just a way to connect. So you can send an invite, you can go to the Twitter, to in this case also the Instagram page, and then you can get some contacts for a short exchange possibility. And also in the period of remote learning, it's a great way to go with the students somewhere else. I'll go to the grid as well. There you see you've got my grids. And all grids do have topics. And one of the topics I'll put in is remote learning. I still see at the moment 3 or 6 responses. You are able to add your response. So what is your favorite tool to engage remote learning with your students? Please explain why you are using this tool. So if you're able to make one, you can do that and add it into this grid. Maybe it's good to tell that you can set this grid directly into Teams. So there's also a big integration with Flipgrid and Microsoft Teams, and also with Google. I saw the question before with, I think, LessonUp. So if you're able to make that video, please make your video and add it into the grid.
Yeah, and you can also pimp your videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll see it. There is a little cap over here, and you can cut through the video. So if you do have some seconds, you think I don't like that one, you can cut it between. Then you'll put it through each other, and then you've got your new video. You'll add some stickers, make your video great in the way you want to make it great, and then you'll see it like this. Maybe I can renew the page. Maybe there are some more videos at the moment. And maybe also a good one to add a video, because in this way I am using it right now. It's also a kind of experience for everyone else. So if you all make a short video about what kind of remote learning tool you're using, others can see it, and it's a part of inspiration for that one. So please make your video and add it into this grid, and I will share this grid to Fadzli, so you can watch back the videos for some inspiration.
Top.
Okay, Lars, I have
Yeah.
one question from one of the viewers. So she just signed in as educator. So how to exchange with the students?
How to exchange with the students with Flipgrid, you mean?
Yeah.
You can
share the code, yeah.
Oh, share. So,
yeah, how you can exchange it with the students. So you share just what like Lars just did with us with the QR code, but behind the QR code is like a code, just like Kahoot. You always entering a code. This is the same. And you can make the code by your own, like the name of your school or something. And you can set up a password. So that's why you can exchange it.
Okay,
maybe good to show them.
Okay, sure. Maybe you can show them on how to share with the students.
Yeah, do we got
enough when time? You do have the share button. When you click on it, you'll see the different kind of ways you are able to share at the moment. You can share it directly with Teams. You can share the link, the QR. And maybe also good to know when we're talking about sharing, you can also share it with different teachers. So when you do have 2 or 3 teachers with the same subject, you can make them a co-pilot of the grid. And then you're working together. You'll see that plane over here. You can add some teachers, you see, add a co-pilot. So maybe if I want to know Dimitri, now I did ask him to be a co-pilot and be together to this grid. That's also a way to share. And maybe another feature, the last one I'm talking about Flipgrid, when you do have an exchange somewhere in the area, then most of the times, last years, my students did get a lot of papers with a lot of questions, and then they had to bring back those questions back at the end of the day, but some of the people lost their papers, some of them didn't receive all questions, all that kind of stuff. And when you are using Flipgrid, it's a great way to make videos. It's also more of this time, I think, but they do like it a lot more because they can show what they mean and not just some papers with the answers. So it is more meaningful for students, and they are learning a lot more. I think that's if maybe there are some questions about Flipgrid or Padlet, but then I'll watch and take a look to Mr. Fadzli.
Okay, so maybe we can go to next, which is are you explaining on how to use the Kahoot, right?
How to use the Kahoot?
Kahoot, yeah, Kahoot integration in the Teams.
Yeah, for the people who don't know what Kahoot is also a tool to make short quizzes with your students. And since last week, Kahoot has been integrated into Teams. So when you're using Teams and want to add a tab, there is also the possibility to add Kahoot inside it directly.
Okay, thanks for the info, Lars.
Maybe we should show them how you integrate them.
Okay, sure.
Should I do it?
I'll hope you're able to.
No problem. I'll show you because you guys use a lot of Kahoot, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you got like Teams, you got like the posts and all your other tabs here, and you can press the plus button, and you just look it up. So they put it in here, and you can edit. Takes a little bit. So you got to log in or sign up. If you don't got an account, sign up and log in when you got an account. And then you get in there and you see your Kahoots and you can share them directly.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, no problem.
So we are coming to the end of our webinar. So I will now open for the Q&A session for the viewers.
Yeah, I see a question about what's the benefit of using Minecraft education for children? Well, I cannot answer that. Maybe I'm looking at Afke.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the benefit of using Minecraft for education is you're not only working with the knowledge, but you're also working on skills. So working together, empathy, but also you learn the history, the knowledge, and the empathy for, okay, we need to build together houses. How were the houses were looking in history? So it's skills and knowledge together, and that's why it's a very good tool to use in your lessons.
Okay, thanks Afke for the sharing. As for my school, we use the Minecraft for education. So this year we bought around 400 license for the students. So the students are very excited to use the Minecraft education edition, and we can promote their creativity inside the Minecraft education edition.
Yeah, sure.
Are we still there or?
Yeah, and I see a nice question for to share and connect with Dutch and Malaysian schools. Yeah, of course you can use Flipgrid, and it's also cool maybe to work in one world with Minecraft, or connect over Skype and do a mystery Skype together. So there are a lot of tools you can use to connect with other schools in the world.
Yeah, and if you want to connect with our Twitter account.
Yeah, because I'll use mystery Skype a lot as well with the students. Afke did it as well. Dimitri, did you use Skype more or? Dimitri didn't hear me.
Sorry?
Do you use Skype a lot in your lessons?
Well, oh, sorry. Well, my students do not use a lot of Skype. They are like 17 and 18-year-old students, my students. And yeah, well, I'm not using it a lot, but at other schools, I know they use it a lot. So at your school.
And maybe also with one Afke, do you still use mystery Skype to show them a bit of the Microsoft environment you're working with, or?
Education for
Can
Microsoft.
you repeat the question, please?
Last year's, some of the times you did use mystery Skype and also Skype to show them how the Microsoft building is, and how your place looks like. What with the
with the Skype-a-thon.
Skype-a-thon, I was searching for the word.
Yeah.
That's also...
I really want to show you the office, but I cannot go to office till September because of the COVID crisis. So after September, please send me a message over Twitter and I will show you the Microsoft office in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Now the office is a bit shorter.
Yeah, now I can show you my own.
Okay, so any other question from the viewers? Okay, we have one question here from teacher Rohani Ismail. Just want to ask, how are we going to embed the Flipgrid towards the Microsoft Teams, inside the Microsoft Teams?
You can add it as, yeah. So the way Dimitri said to add Kahoot, click on the plus, you can add it as in this way.
Okay, so you just basically you can just add a new tab and add new apps.
Yeah,
right,
for sure. And also, I am starting. One moment, please.
Maybe I can show you with the RL exchange, Lars. Is that a possibility?
Sorry?
Shall I share it and just put on the RL exchange in our education exchange Teams?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll share my screen to show you. I'll share my Teams again. So we can add Flipgrid. There's also the tool here. And you can add a flip code or a Flipgrid URL, and it's like RL exchange, I think.
Yep. Remote learning exchange.
Yes. I'll press save and exchange. What's the password?
Yeah, capital E.
Yep. Let's go, and you're in. So you can use it straight into your Microsoft Teams. And that's it. Piece of cake.
Okay. So next question is from Benny Lau. So basically, do all the Netherlands government school students use the online platform learning? So is it just based on the school initiative or provided by the government? Like Malaysia, we are using Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams.
Shall I explain this?
Yeah.
So with the government from the Netherlands, we have a very good contract with Microsoft. So the licenses for using Office 365 are almost for free for schools. So for schools, is it a really safe and secure way to still connect with the children? And so all the schools have the opportunity to use Office 365 for free, but it's up to the schools to choose between Google Classroom, or maybe they want to have Zoom for video calls or something. But if you really look to the compliance and security way, I think Microsoft is the best option, of course.
Yeah.
and it's for free. So if you want to have more security and more compliance, then you can upsell your license, but the normal license for primary and secondary schools, they're good enough. So it's for free.
Okay, so Afke, before you leave, maybe you need to share some advice for us, for our viewers in Malaysia or any other countries.
My advice is love the teaching. I still miss the teaching every day, but I was really motivated to help also other teachers as well. And with that skills in my mind, I was looking to my future, and Microsoft came on my path, and I thought, okay, even though I miss the children and I miss the connection in the class, this was a very good opportunity for me to do this at least for 1 year. And I learned so much already this year. Hey, Anita. I learned already so much this year. So I really want to inspire you as well. So go for it. And maybe it's together with teaching, but follow your dreams.
Okay, thanks Afke for the advice.
Sorry, I need to go to the other meeting, but the boys maybe are still here, and if there are questions, you can ask Mr. Fadzli, and I will hear it afterwards.
Okay, thanks Afke.
Bye, terima kasih.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, as for next, I will pass the webinar to Mr. Yu for the quiz and feedback forms.
Okay. So thank you. Right. So thank you, Mr. Fadzli. And before I proceed with my session, I would like to thank Afke, Mr. Dimitri, and Lars from Netherlands. And I'm actually a Kahoot ambassador in Malaysia. So it is a very good news for us who has been using Kahoot for many years. So finally, we can use Kahoot in Microsoft Teams. So it's a good news for everyone by using Kahoot. Okay, all right. So I will explain to all the participants. So thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in to our webinar. So the link to the quiz and feedback form, aka attendance form, is bit.ly/FB small letters CGC capital letters 31. So I would suggest all the participants to fill out the form after the end of this webinar session, so that you won't miss any essential information. So this link will be closed 1 hour after the webinar session has ended. So if our webinar is going to end on 3:15 p.m. Malaysia time, so we will close this form at 4:15 p.m. Malaysia time. Okay, to be eligible for a certificate of attendance, I am happy to inform you that you need to answer a total of 5 quiz questions. So the questions are based on the content or the presentation that are presented by Afke, by Dimitri and Lars. So you need to get at least 3 questions correctly, and you need to complete the participant feedback form, the link that we are given just now. And for MOE staff, for educators in Malaysia that are working for Ministry of Education, your attendance will be manually recorded by our secretariat into the SPR KPM system. So for the certificate of attendance, we will get it ready in 72 hours time. So you will be informed via email on how to redeem your certificate of attendance. So once again, the links for all the participants to fill out is bit.ly/FBCGC31. So please fill out this form after the end of this webinar session. Okay, so I pass back this session to Mr. Fadzli. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cikgu Yu. So before we end the session, our next webinar will be tomorrow. Okay, the next webinar is on Introduction to Assembler EDU. So if you are looking to AR and VR apps, so this is suitable for you. So we are bringing Miss Anita Justicia, which is co-founder and COO at Assembler, and the time is at 2:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. Okay, so sure to get back with us. Cikgu get certified. Okay, before we end our webinar, I need to thanks Lars, Dimitri, and Afke for joining us and willing to be the presenter for today. So, Lars, you need to promote your website, right?
Yeah, maybe it's ours, Dimitri and I. Dimitri mentioned also at the beginning, when the remote learning did start, almost in exactly the same time, a bit before we started with a website. Maybe you can show them inside the screen, like the Twitter handle. And there are a lot of tips about using Microsoft 365 tools, especially Teams, OneNote, also Flipgrid, and some other tools. With Microsoft Edge, you're able to translate it into your own language. So maybe you can show it the link, and then they can check if they want some tips or just want to watch at the site. You'll see it now inside the screen. And if you are missing something about a different kind of tool, you're also able to tell, maybe via Twitter or something like that, and we'll add it for you.
Yes. And it says www.remotelearning.nl, but then in Dutch. So
how to pronounce that?
It's onderwijs op afstand.
it's like
Okay. Thanks, Lars. Thanks, Dimitri. Our educators in Malaysia will surely check out your website. So by using Microsoft Edge, you can use the immersive reader. So you can translate it into English or Malay language. And if you have any request, you can request Lars and Dimitri. You can connect with them via Twitter.
Yeah, we do share all the posts via Twitter, via LinkedIn, and the website, and we do have the YouTube channel, but the short tips in the videos aren't translated at the moment.
Okay, so fine. Any other advice for us, for viewers, that on how
I think
on how to start the remote learning, or need to continue with the remote learning?
Well, I think it's really important to listen to your students. Every student learns in a different way. So probably for some of those Kahoot works, some of those LessonUp works, some of those Microsoft Teams works. Just use the tools that fit with your students.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Lars, and thanks for Dimitri, and thanks for coming to our webinar. We really appreciate. So thank you from us. Cikgu get certified. Okay, maybe we can see next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe live.
We'll wait for the invite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite, and thanks for me and Dimitri as well, and
for all the viewers.
Thanks for the good comments. I'll see a lot of positive reactions inside the comments, and we do like it. We do like the comments that you do see some good too. So that's great.
Also, thank you and bye. See you next time. Bye.